Dungeons of Eternity is my new favorite game, and I really mean that. This game isn't sponsored by the developers, but I gotta tell you guys, this is the best game. It scratches all the itches that I wanted to get out of VR, and it leaves me wanting more with hope of what's to come. Why do I say this is my favorite game? Well, it's not because of the co-op. You might have heard that this is one of the best co-op experiences on the Quest 2 or Quest 3, and it's true. You and two randoms or two friends go into a dungeon. You work together to get through the dungeon, defeating bosses, mini bosses, as well as defeating hordes of enemies. You'll find loot. You work together to find keys. When you open a chest, everyone gets a piece of the pie. It's not just one chest per one person, whoever gets the key. So it's really cool that there's a benefit to playing with your friends. Why else would I think this is awesome? It's Dungeons and Dragons. It just needs more dragons. You go through them. Um, Maps are randomly generated. It stays fresh. Um, you can really feel yourself powering up as you play throughout the game. Every time you level up, you get access to slightly stronger weapons, as well as access to more cosmetics for your character. There's no transactions BS. I am so sick of console gaming and PC gaming with all these transactions. Like, I'm going to make a video on how much I love in VR, and that when you buy a game, the developers just give you more and more updates to that game. There's rarely any microtransactions except for a few outliers that really should give their head a shake. It's ruining the experience. What else can I say? You get to be Captain America. You can find a shield, whip it at your enemies, and use telekinesis to bring it back. Super cool. But you can also do that with various weapons. Throw daggers, axes, maces, hammers, swords, and gives you a really taste of that berserker feeling when you can just whip your axes and keep on throwing. Um, when you do throw a weapon and it disappears, you just pull it out of your holster again. You don't always have to. If it goes over a cliff, it just returns to you. It's a really cool mechanic. Not gonna lie on that. I do want to talk more about that gameplay loop. Just fighting through hordes of enemies, getting that loot. Feel like you're being rewarded as you're playing through, and it's great. I honestly like that it's a randomly generated loot chest. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know. There's such an assortment of various weapons and abilities that come with those weapons. You want to keep going until you get that ideal roll in terms of damage, as well as what types of abilities it'll have. Is it ice damage? Is it area effect damage? Is it poison damage? Is it a throw further perks? It goes on. Not to mention, you can get a reload perk for your crossbow, so that when you reload, when you pull that string back, it could have up to 6 shots. So it gives you a semi-automatic crossbow. Get to feel like Van Helsing just slaying the monsters. It's awesome. I love it. It's so good. What else can I say? Well, I got a couple negatives about the game. Like, this game has a core gameplay recipe of win. I love it. But like all gameplay loops, you can only do it so many times before it just loses that. It doesn't give you that fix. It doesn't give you that hit that you need. So what we really need from the developers right now, I want to see some additional phases for bosses. I want to see more diverse bosses where you have to do additional stuff to bring them to a new phase. Maybe make them, even just as they're getting weaker, give them an enrage mode. Maybe you have to bait them into a spot in a room and then make a boulder fall on them. Or use the various traps throughout a room to do damage. The closest that we got to this is a giant golem, where there's chests scattered throughout the room. You'll find bomb potions. You whip it at that golem, he'll eventually kneel, and then you kill his core. I want more of that. I want something where I took down something that had presence, that had more of a life to it, not just a big lumbering skeleton or a scorpion that, you know, it's just a health sponge, and if you get too close, it'll one-shot you. Like, we need more enemies. It's actually a really diverse game in terms of enemies. You have skeletons as well, so warrior skeletons, archer skeletons, magic user skeletons. You get mini spiders, large spiders, scorpions, both small and large scorpions, bees or wasps, both the small, the exploding, as well as the boss size wasps. You know, you get, and all these enemies can come in different variants. You can have your base model, you can have your blue model, which means if you get hit by this, it'll freeze your character. You have the poison model. I have no idea what poison actually does. It doesn't seem to do anything. You have the purple model, which is just a huge, probably the biggest health sponge out of everything. And the red flashing one, which is, again, another health sponge. It's cool to have the variation so that, you know, if you get killed, single player, killed or downed, you have a limited time to try to recover yourself by killing an enemy, drinking a potion, and so on. What other enemies? We also have the beholders. If you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, the beholders are the giant floating squid monsters with multiple eyes. They have this here too. They shoot fireballs. Keep your distance. If you get too close, it's gonna eat you. So the variety's good. I just want more. That's what we really need more of. We need more of the game. Is this worth its $20 price tag? It sure is, especially if you throw that 25% discount on it. So what else can I say about the game? Man, that's about it. The game it's an easy 8 out of 10. The gameplay loop wants you playing more. It's one of the times where you want you wish that you could play on the Quest 2 or the Quest 3 longer. Just 2 hours just doesn't feel like enough because you just want to keep going. You want to get that loot. You want to experience more of the game. But my biggest worry is that you're just probably will burn out eventually. Chasing that dragon of the ideal drop or the ideal weapon or the look of a weapon and just not getting it, it will fade over time. So hopefully the devs are listening and hopefully we'll get more endgame. And So, if you want one of the best games on the Quest 2, Quest 3, and you love the Dungeons and Dragons, be an explorer or a dungeon dweller, dungeon diver, dungeoner, get Dungeons of Eternity. Have a good one.